I've been a part of Keep Moving movement right from the time it started, and every year I keep looking forward to this time of the year when we do Keep Moving movement in various schools.
I'm a part of Keep Moving movement for the last 4 years. How did it all start? Actually, I was doing a badge of life school, and over there Naren was talking about different aspects of how confidence happens. In that, he shared that they do this program where it goes to almost 8 to 10,000 students. And at that time, my mind started to linger. That what would you talk at that time? So I asked this question to Naren, that what is all this all about? So he said that what happens is that the students, when they are in the 10th standard, they've got a lot of pressure. The parents are saying that you are in 10th standard, study. Teachers are saying that you have to complete the syllabus. Let's do this. And all in all, the students are very, very tensed. And then I looked at myself and I said, yes, that's true. Probably that's why performance doesn't happen. And because of all this, I was just thinking to myself that wow, this is a great cause.
I am Dr. Soni. I work in KMM ICU since last 5 years. I am into this Keep Moving movement since last 7 years. I always dreamt of being a doctor. I wanted to play my role towards the society. This is the reason why I was being attracted towards Keep Moving movement.
My name is Rajesh Shetty. I'm into KMM since 3 years. First session that I had taken in Naren English Medium School outernship, that changed the entire life, I should say, transformed me totally. And the way the children were looking at me, expecting something from me, some good messages, some life-transforming learnings from me, that did allow me to sleep that night. And from the next session, it was totally for the students. So I am now enjoying it very well. Last 2 years, I have progressed or got a great satisfaction out of this particular activity, and I would like to have more and more of these experiences in my life.
What gets me to keep moving, or what pulls me towards keep moving every year, is that sense of fulfillment or that sense of satisfaction that I am doing my bit for the society.
In my first year of college, I remember one of my teacher, Dr. Naresh Kore, he shared one sentence saying, "Be on the pitch, the runs will automatically come out." And I still remember that sentence, even though 10 years back I have heard the sentence. And this is how where a teacher impacts a student, because this sentence is helping me in my day-to-day life, and it is solving my n number of obstacles. This is the reason why when I go to the school and when I relate to the students, I realize that if any of the students pick up few sentences here and there, their life might change.
Too, I believe that youth is power. The future of the country lies in the youth. And if this youth becomes strong, I think our country, India, can surely reach the top of the world. So we need to train these youth to be in the right direction. So through Keep Moving movement, I see it as a chance to talk to the youth.
When I joined as a tutor, we used to go to schools, and when I started to talk and take these sessions on passion for excellence and self-belief, CDSE, consistent directional self-motivated efforts, it was something that changed in the students, and I could see it. It's first session, second session, third session, and the kids were changing. For the first year, I was stunned with the response that I got and the way kids were relating to me, and I really thought that something is happening, and Keep Moving movement was what was happening.
I was going to this beautiful school in the name of Kamalain Bajaj in Pune, and I had this kid whose name was Shantanu Chitle. He was very weak in geometry. Some simple A group problems, he wouldn't be able to solve it. We spoke in the session, we gave him some tips. He used those tips, he implemented in his studies. And we were very glad to know that in his terminals, a guy who wouldn't even pass at times scored 60 on 60. And he told me later that because of the session that we took on how to use various techniques to improve in studies, it really helped him and he scored well.
In Mahesh Vidyalaya, we had a student who was not attending school regularly, and the principal was very concerned about her. The principal knew all the family background of that student. She informed me that her mother, that student's mother, had cancer, and this student, her name was Shilpa, she was giving the reasons that because of that I am not able to come to school regularly, whereas the fact was different. She herself, the student herself, was very inconsistent. Now, the principal, after telling me this, requested me to somehow make some improvements in that girl. And this time round, when the results were declared, the first person that the principal called up was me. And she told me that we have 100% result, and Shilpa surprisingly had passed and got 52%.
Last year I had been to Range Hill School. I shared with them saying it does not matter what I have, what really matters is what I do with what I have. And I didn't knew what actually changed one of the student, and few days back one of the student just SMS'd me saying that he is going to a number of places for the salesmanship, and then he had written, "Ma'am, this sentence has helped me a lot," saying it does not matter what I have, what really matters is what I do with what I have.
Results? Oh my god. I've got my students in my Facebook, and after 3 months when we relate to them, they are completely different. What started with they getting 35 to 40%, some of the students have achieved 70 to 80, 85%. I remember one incident where I was going to one school, and there was one student who was coming second in his class. He was a head boy, and he was doing very well. He was getting around 88, 89%. And suddenly in the next semester his percentage dropped. So the vice principal was very, very keen in making a difference into the children's life. She actually told us that I don't know why, but I think there's something wrong with this child. And then in one of the sessions, when I finished the session, I came out, this guy comes running to me, and he said that, "Sir," he started to cry a lot. He said that, "Sir, I don't want to live. I don't think it's worth living." I said, "Hello?" I was taken aback. It was a serious moment, and I was wondering what happened to him. I didn't know how to deal with it initially, but then I had to take control. So I just asked him, "What happened?" So he gave me an incident where his parents were having a quarrel, and he was a part of that quarrel, and then his dad just twisted his arm, and it twisted it so bad that he thought that he's lost his arm. And it was a very sad moment, and the way he was crying and weeping, it was I really didn't have words to say, but I just asked him that why don't you perform well, and I'm sure your parents will be happy. He said, "I perform well, I am the head boy of the class, and I get 85-88%. I want to come first in my class. But after all this, is it worth it? I don't think so." I mean, I just told him one thing, that don't worry about anything. This is a cycle. What does your dad do? And he told me that my dad is, he's an ex-MD somewhere, where he was handling 1,000 people. So I told him that the nature, when your dad is going out, when he's talking to people, the whole day he's with that pressure, some of the other things on his head, and 1,000 people he's handling. He might be in some different mood, and when you come and aggravate something, it gets into a different cycle. And probably that was the reason why he must have behaved that way. Not that he wanted to for a child. Every parent loves his child. But there are situations, there are times when they are going to be a bit rough and tough. But we need to understand them, get out of what that entire expression and this is, and do what we have to do. What I feel right now, what is important is your 10 standard. Do your best, make sure that you keep them in the loop and get good grades. Just concentrate there. After 2 months when I went to the school, this vice principal runs up to me and says, "Hey, I've been looking out for you." I said, "Yes ma'am, what happened?" And she says that, "You remember this particular child you were telling me about and we had worked on him?" I said, "Yes, what happened to him?" They're like, "He scored 94.54%. And I was shocked. And like, he's not only scored first in the class, but the first in the school, and his name was in the paper. And I was stunned. I was shocked. And I was happy. I was very content with that. Somewhere something made a difference, and keep moving the moment helped him to become a better champion.
In Keep Moving Movement 2012, we have a very broad vision than what we've ever had. This year, our focus is to collaborate with teachers and spread the movement as far as possible and to as many children as possible, so that in turn more and more children benefit out of this movement. Thank you so much.